This image shows the beginning and ending of a piece of aviation artwork. So does this image, and we're going to be talking about creating aviation art on Celebrating Aviation with Mike Mashat by request. What you see here are two composite images of finished artwork that looked like this. On the left is the XP-59 flying at Muroc, California in 1942. On the right, the Space Shuttle Enterprise approach and landing test at Edwards Air Force Base in 1977. We're talking about how to paint airplanes. And I should mention that I already have 10 videos on these aircraft subjects. If you're new to the channel, you may not be familiar with them, or some of them go back to the very beginning of the channel 2.5 years ago. There are links to each and every one of these in the title block below, but a number of viewers have asked about showing the process of making aviation art. But wait, there's more. We have a double feature. We're posting this on Sunday, October 2nd, and tomorrow, Monday, October 3rd, will be a second video on a specific painting that we have never shown before. So we're going to be talking about how to paint airplanes on this magnificent machine, and we'll show you the transition from the beginning of the process to finished artwork. Now, in my 40-year career, I've painted airplanes coming and going, and I keep saying painting. I really should be saying illustrating, because there are so many different mediums. And an artist has to master pretty much all of them to evolve into a professional career. So here you've got graphite pencil, you have colored pencil, transparent watercolor, opaque designer's gouache, mixed media, which is a combination of all the above, including aniline dye. But for the purpose of this episode and the 10 videos that I mentioned, and the one that's coming tomorrow, we're going to be talking about traditional oil painting methods. This Winsor Newton fine art oils on canvas. Now, during my career, I didn't have GoPro and I didn't have smartphones that could video the process. And to be quite frank, it's a slow, arduous process to watch. The cliche watching paint dry is very apt because it happens very slowly, and you'd have to do like a time lapse or something like that to keep your interest up. But I did a number of videos that show the steps that are involved in creating these final images. So you have the development of the line drawing, or what I call the engineering drawing, the application to the canvas, a little bit about the workspace and materials, and then step by step as the painting progresses. So how to paint airplanes, a step-by-step process showing how aviation art is created. I'll use the example of my painting of Chuck Yeager's X-1 flight in October of 1947 to show you the 7 steps of creating aviation art. First, we start with the concept sketch, the research phase, interviewing the pilot, finding out all the details about the airplane and the scene, photographing the models, setting up a diorama and recreating the painting in 3 dimensions. The development drawings, which are critical in the evolution of the final image. The final detail drawing, which includes corrections from any number of sources to get the image exactly correct. And painting the canvas, putting the layers of paint onto the canvas to develop the final image, which looks like that. And again, finished art as the 7th and final step. Now, in these 10 subjects, I thought I would do a quick recap just to show you what these look like, and then you can decide if you'd like to go and look at them in more detail. So starting with the North American RA-5C Vigilante, we had a painting of it launching off the USS John F. Kennedy, and that painting is entitled Unbridled Elegance. We have a Mooney Acclaim S setting a world speed record starting over Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport in the wintertime. And that painting is entitled The Highly Acclaimed Batmobile. Joe Engel was one of 12 X-15 pilots. We have a number of them in a feature on painting the X-15. In this case, Joe has just completed his astronaut wings flight in June of 1965, flying X-15 to 280,000 feet. And the painting is entitled First Reentry, alluding to the fact that he went into space in this airplane. And then again, second reentry was flown in the shuttle Columbia. The legendary Tex Johnston, and of course, the famed barrel roll over the Gold Cup speedboat races in Seattle, Washington in 1955. That painting is entitled Gold Cup Roll. It's quite a story. Captain Rick Drury, Air Force pilot, flew the Douglas Skyraider, led a 5-hour Sandy rescue mission, pulling 2 Navy pilots out of the jungle. And that is Sandy 1. Lieutenant Colonel Ed Yielding flew the SR-71 Blackbird and piloted that machine on the 68-minute coast-to-coast world record flight in March of 1990. That painting is Habu's Last Hurrah. Here we have a Heller 1/125th scale model of a Super G constellation, and that became a painting. And so in this video, we talk about turning models into artwork. And then there are 3 mural videos. And so we talk about the process of what it's like transitioning from a 20-inch canvas to a 20-foot wall. And the first of these is the Douglas airliners at the Museum of Flying in Santa Monica, California. And this is entitled Fly Douglas, which was the company phrase. Also at that museum, we created a Navy aircraft mural. And this is the first concept sketch literally done on the back of a napkin. And then that turned into this 20-foot mural entitled Fly Navy. The iconic X-planes of Edwards were captured in a mural at the Air Force Flight Test Center Museum in the year 2000. And that is showing all 16 primary airplanes and another dozen or so support aircraft in a painting called The Golden Age of Flight Test. So again, here's the list of videos that you'll find in the links below, and you can decide which ones you'd like to look at in detail. I think you'll enjoy the stories of how these paintings came to be. Now, I promised something special, and that's coming tomorrow on Monday, October 3rd, and that will be a painting that answers the question, have I ever painted airplanes from World War II? And the answer is yes. We're going to be talking about the pilot seen here, Lieutenant Colonel Clyde East, who distinguished himself in an entire Air Force career flying photo recon aircraft. And if you haven't guessed the airplane he's flying in here, I'll give you a hint. This car is named after it. This particular painting began with the story from this photograph, which was taken from Colonel East's P-51 Mustang. So we'll be talking about the evolution of this painting from the first drawings to finished artwork. How to Paint Airplanes, coming tomorrow, Monday, October 3rd. Hope you'll tune in. I think you'll enjoy it. And as always, thank you so much for celebrating aviation with Mike Mashat. Appreciate all the great comments and all the wonderful viewers that are on the channel. Really means a lot to have you on board. So please tune in tomorrow. And as always, until next time, take care.